guys, welcome back to another video, and I'm going to be reacting to Mark Rober.
This bowling ball can get you a strike every time because after you bowl it, you simply lean in the direction you want the ball to turn. This idea has been on my bucket list for over 3 years, so today I'm going to tell you how we made it, how exactly it works, and what happens when you take it bowling, but neglect to tell the people you're bowling with about your slight advantage. So this trick ball looks and feels like a normal bowling ball, and that's because it's made from a real bowling ball. Step one on this project was to harness my inner Lincoln and Dan to see what's inside an actual bowling ball. The first thing we discovered is that they aren't symmetric. That means the center of mass isn't at the actual center point of the ball. I won't get into the physics here, but this is one factor that helps the pros curve the ball as much as they do. Next, I had my buddy Mark, who owns a machine shop, hollow out the ball using a lathe. Once that was done, we were left with 2 shells, and now I just need to fill it with some engineering magic. And to do that, I need to get myself to London with the trusty 4-second travel montage. And the reason I needed to get to London was because this is James Bruton, and this is his house. And what you should know about James, aside from the fact that he's a mechanical, electrical engineer genius, is he used to be a toy designer. And I have so much respect for toy designers because they have to come up with really clever designs, like this guy here, where you can see all of this action powered by a single spring so it can remain inexpensive. And his super clever designs include this robot you can control using this puppet robot, or this real-life Iron Man or Hulkbuster suit, or a bunch of really cool BB-8s. I had a basic idea for the mechanism in the ball, and I knew I wanted the guts to be sort of like a BB-8. So I reached out to him, and in the spirit of full disclosure, it was his expertise that really made this whole thing possible. So if you enjoy seeing awesome stuff like this, you really need to go check out his videos and subscribe to his channel. And so after geeking out in his house for way longer than we should have, we put the ball together and headed to a proper British bowling alley for the first official test. We started at pretty low speeds just to prove we had things basically correct. Then we started getting fancy and eventually worked up to hitting some pins. That is a cool feeling. And the reason I can control the ball by leaning is because I have this little board taped to my back that has an inertial measurement unit on it that can sense the orientation. So if I lean left, it sends that command back to the ball using radio waves. And then the ball has a receiver that gets the signal to turn left, and then this Arduino, which is the brains of the operation, tells the servo motor how much to rotate, which then rotates this heavy pendulum to the left. And that radically alters the center of gravity, and it starts turning that way in response. Just like if you want to turn on a bike, you adjust your center of gravity by leaning into the turn. And if I want to bowl normal, I can just click this limit switch and it will ignore all inputs. But as soon as I click it again, then it will once again steer whichever way I lean. And at first we weren't really getting strikes, but that's because my technique was wrong. Hitting the pins dead straight on will tend to leave the corner pins like this. To get a perfect strike, the ball needs to approach the pin somewhere between 3 and 6 degrees from this point. And that's because at that angle, the ball hits this first pin and the normal force vector takes out all of these pins in a line. And then the ball contacts this next pin here and it takes out all of these pins in a line. And then the ball's momentum takes out the final 3. Professional bowlers get their ball to hit the pins at this side angle by curving the ball. And you kind of have to do that because if you suck at bowling like me and you can only bowl the ball straight, if you extend that straight line out, you would need to bowl from the other lane over. But technically, that's not allowed. And so at that point, your remaining strategies are either bad CGI or mechanical engineering. And we chose the latter. And once I got the angle right, we started locking in the strikes. In addition to testing our ball, we got to see the machine they use to oil the lanes and the crazy fascinating machine that clears and resets the pin after every frame, but that's a topic for another video. And so with everything working perfectly, it was time for the final test to see how it performed in real life. So we arranged to meet some of our family friends at the local bowling alley, and at first I tried bowling normally with the controls turned off, but it turns out, without the aid of mechanical engineering, I suck at bowling. And nobody likes me. So to get my street cred back, I clicked the switch on and explained I actually had Jedi powers. And then I used said Jedi powers to steer the ball, get some strikes, and reclaim my high-five privileges. catch on to the secret that rolling strikes was just directly proportional to how much you leaned. When people first look at me, they'll typically make a snap judgment and think, fashion icon. And I get it, but much like a transformer, there's more than meets the eye. For example, right now, I am secretly listening to some dope jams, even though I'm not wearing any headphones, because these aren't normal sunglasses. These are the Bose frames, and they sent them to me to try out for the past few months, and you should know they supported this video, but they didn't give me any specific talking points to say besides just tell people what you honestly think. So this is my dope tech review. By far, the craziest thing about these is the sensation of hearing really clear audio without anything on or in your ears. When you experience it for the first time, it just makes you smile. If you get the chance, trust me that you really just need to try it out for yourself. These are sunglasses, so they're obviously designed for situations where you're outdoors like a park or just walking around. The key is that you can hear your music, but you don't have anything directly in or on your ears, so you have greater spatial awareness of what's going on around you. And when you wear these and walk around, you just feel like your life is a cool montage. But what's really clever is that the people right next to you can't really hear them at all. Since it connects via Bluetooth, as you would expect, you can control your music directly from the glasses, as well as take calls or use Google Assistant or Siri. They've got two primary styles with Alto and Rondo, and they just recently released a slightly smaller version of Alto, which is probably my favorite. The lenses are also easily interchangeable if you want to customize it to your style. Now, these aren't going to replace my 700s, especially when traveling, but they're innovative and they work super well in the situations they're designed for, which is why they got really positive reviews from all the actual tech reviewers. So thanks to Bose for making a great product, and thanks to you for watching.
And that was the video. Thank you for watching.